peoples. How's everybody doing? Alright, so let's get right into this because I had a couple people that tried this with me and that I know of nobody has finished. So I'm going to try this again. Should you choose to try it, that's fine. I'm just here to give you guys a little bit of instruction because this is going to be my third year doing it, all right? So it is the 300 things that we are believing God for. I got this from Steve Harvey, y'all. And basically what he said was that you come up with a list of 300 things that you're expecting from God. He based it on Habakkuk, write the vision, make it plain. And now he said in his little snippet, you'll get to about 75 and you can't think of nothing else you're expecting God for. But you got 300 things that you can actually ask him for. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I got somewhere around the 70s and was like, I don't understand how this is supposed to go. What I was missing was basically what was happening to me everyday life. And what I was supposed to be writing down were the things that I needed in certain instances that I encountered. If I expected a different outcome from something, there should have been something I should have been putting on that list that I was asking God for. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to dig into my real personal arsenal, and I'm going to give y'all my first 10 things for 2022 that I am believing God for. Okay? Hopefully this can help you all to get started on your list. And as I go through mine, I'll share to kind of make sure that you guys are staying on the right track. Now remember, what I'm getting ready to give you is kind of based on my personal life. If this fits your life, use it. But I want you all to understand that when I make this list, it's based on my everyday life. It's based on how I see my life going. It's based on things that I may go through, and I look at it like, God, I don't ever want that to happen again. Write it down. It becomes a hefty list, but here's the thing. I kid you not. I'd say about 60 to 70% of the items that I put on these lists, this 300 things that I'm believing God for, 60 to 70% of it has came to pass each year that I've done this. So, like, to be completely honest with you all, the job was on the 2021 list. The new place was on the 2021 list. Like, these are things, and I was very specific. Like, my office isn't decorated. Like, my kids feel like it's real plain in here. But what I asked for, I didn't ask for a decorated office. What I asked for was an office that actually had a view so that I could write and vlog. And what my kids skipped over, and I had to point it out to them, I said, open the blinds. And when they opened the blinds, they were like, that's beautiful, Mom. I said, but that's what I asked for. I didn't ask for painted walls. I didn't ask for any of that. That'll come in time. But I said all that to say that I was specific in a lot of things that I asked for. And like I said, 60 to 70%. And that was the first year I did it and this last time. So I'm doing it again for 2022. You don't have to do it. It's completely up to you. I don't twist nobody's arm or try to force anything on anybody. And I show and try to change your beliefs. If Allah says you can ask him for 300 things, ask Allah. Buddha said you can ask him for 300 things, ask him. If Mother Mary said go and write it out, go write it out. That's all I'm saying. So, here's number one for me. And this doesn't mean that this has to be like my top thing. This was just the first thing that came to mind for me. I want y'all to stay with me. Let me turn Jigga down a little bit. I want y'all to stay with me because this can be a simple request or it can be a loaded request because that's who you are. So y'all got to keep in mind, I can be wordsy and sometimes I can just be flat out simple because it's just a bad day. Got it? Okay. So my number one is increase my courage to do what is necessary. Now, if you can use it, write it down. It don't have to be your number one if that's you feel uncomfortable with that. But I put it on my list because sometimes there are things that are needed and we don't have the courage to do it. As much as I've been talking about relationships lately, there's a lot of people out here who need to be out of some of the stuff that they in and they don't have the courage to leave it. It's necessary for you to though. Number 2, I ask that God provide order to my life. It can get chaotic sometimes for me, y'all. And I know I ain't the only one. I prefer order, though. I don't like the chaos. Number 3, decrease my exposure to jealous and envious people. Now, some of you all may disagree with that because you're okay with a little jealous envy. It comes with a lot, though. I don't want all that exposure. That's just me, though. Like I said, your list doesn't have to match my list. I'm just giving you all some examples of what it is that I put on my list of 300 things that I'm expecting God for. This is what I want God to do for me. This is me telling God this is what I want, okay? Number 4, decrease the price I pay before I reap a reward. Now, that probably went over some of y'all here, so I'm going to say it again. Decrease the price I pay before I reap a reward. Sometimes we have to go through a whole bunch of stuff before we get what it is that we've been waiting on. I'm just saying. So, I don't want to pay too big of a price for what it is that God has for me. That's all I'm saying. Number 5, put me in a home where I'm able to utilize the indoor and the outdoor space. Now, where I didn't get specific with is where I want that home to be. That's completely up to you if you got a specific place where you want him to put you. Right now, I'm just kind of going with what he got for me. Number 6, help me to not internalize emails, phone calls, and text messages. Number 7, increase my professionalism. Some of y'all can use that. Number 8, bring joy into my life. I told y'all some of these are just simple. If you feel as though you lacking joy, ask him to put joy in your life. It's okay. Number 8, allow me to be celebrated while I am still here. I don't want my flowers, my awards, my name in bright lights while I'm gone. I want it while I'm here. And my number 10 is remove the routine issues from my past. Some things we do habitually because we've been doing them for so long. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So that's my first 10 for 2022 of my 300 things that I'm believing God for. I just wanted to share that with you all. If you want to journey with me on this, then I'll continue to share my list with you all. For those of you who started the list last year and you kept saying you were getting stumped, I hope that me providing my first 10 for 2022 helps you. And I hope that some of you all will actually accept this challenge and go ahead and write it down and tell him what it is you want. I'm going to tell you right now, come the end of 2022, at the end of the year, you're supposed to be scratching stuff off the list. You already know what then came to pass that you had on that list. So come next December, I expect to scratch off 60 to 70%. If I get more than that, that's fine. But come next December, I expect to scratch off 60 to 70% of what I put on that list and say it came to pass. So it's completely up to you all. I love you all. If you want to take this journey with me, y'all make sure y'all follow these videos so that we can all keep up with what it is that we're asking God for in 2022. I love you all, and I will see you next video.